check it out.
What's up everybody, Super X fan here for update number 25. I can't believe we've done 25 of these already, it's awesome. So yeah, what's new with the BRZ this week? Well, not much. I haven't driven it too much this week, so I'm still just barely under 20,000 miles, but I'm getting close to hitting 20,000 in this car, which is awesome. Still love it, of course. Still drives amazingly well. No complaints whatsoever, really. And so yeah, I just want to give you guys a thanks for, I think there was over 200 of you that subscribed to the Vintage Car Fan channel that I talked about last week. You know, my new classic car channel that I'll be doing in addition to this channel. And so yeah, it's going pretty well so far, having some fun doing it. And so there'll be more awesome content on that channel as well. And if you haven't checked it out yet and you're into classic cars, hop over and check it out. And if you like it, then subscribe. Also, thank you guys for the awesome feedback on the FRS review that I posted up this week. Got a lot of good feedback about what you guys thought about that. And I know a lot of people have been asking me to review the Hyundai Genesis Coupe, the Nissan 350Z, and the Nissan 370Z. And it's not that I don't want to review those cars or anything. Those are the top 3 cars on my list of priorities of cars to review. I just haven't found one yet to review. So as soon as I can find one to drive and review, I will. But I'm hearing you loud and clear. You guys really want the Genesis Coupe, the 350Z, and 370Z. I actually do have an opportunity to review a 350Z, but it's an automatic 350Z. If you want to, I mean, really the only difference between the automatic and the manual is just going to be the way the transmission shifts. The car should still, you know, feel like a normal 350Z. So if you want to see me do that review, leave a comment and let me know, and I'll review the automatic 350Z. And then if I can get my hands on a manual one later on down the road, I will. But I know so many of you have been really wanting a 350Z review, so I'll go ahead and do that next week if I get enough feedback from you guys that say you want to see it, even though it's an automatic transmission. Lastly, just one real quick question I want to answer for a few people is a lot of people have said, you know, you say maintenance is pretty low in this car and how much it costs and everything is pretty cheap. So how much does maintenance cost? This car takes synthetic oil, and really oil change is the only thing that you need to do on a regular basis. And this car only needs oil changes technically every 8,000 miles. That's what, you know, the manufacturer suggests. I still get it done every 5,000 to 6,000 miles just to be safe. But so for the synthetic oil change at the dealership, cost me about $66. But since it's not as frequent as a normal oil change, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, that's about it. So it's really not that expensive. But anyway, so that's it for the car portion. There's a lot of news updates to talk about this week, so I'll send it back to me at the news desk. Right, so for this week's news, the first thing I want to talk about is Subaru officially made the BRZ TS version official. You know, it's only going to be for Japan, and it comes in the 2 packages that I explained in the BRZ STI Truth teaser video that I did. So yeah, basically there's a few cool pictures of what it looks like. You know, and it's a cool car. I mean, I love, you know, like the gauges on the inside, the Recaro seats look awesome and everything. But it's just, you know, it's a lot more expensive and there's no more straight line speed. So, I mean, unless you're really, really into handling, hold off on this one and wait for the real STI version that'll be coming out hopefully in a few years. Speaking of future FRS and BRZ variants, Toyota is giving dealers here in America the option to drop the Scion brand, which carries the FRS. And so they're giving them this option because Scion has been kind of slow with sales recently, and the FRS is really the only new thing that they've come out with recently. The TC is a good car too, and it's a pretty strong seller, but Scion's just kind of not performing as well as the dealers had hoped. So Toyota's giving them the option to drop the Scion brand, but before they, you know, were like, well, wait, before you drop it though, let's just show you a few things. And they showed them a Juke rival, you know, the Nissan Juke that's very popular. Apparently there's a Scion version of that in the works, and so they showed them that, and they showed a Scion FRS convertible too. So the fact they're showing that to dealers would be pretty awful if they were showing them that without any plans to make it. So that basically to me confirmed that there will be an FRS convertible. It's just a matter of when. I'm thinking next year. This car is basically production ready. We'll probably see an FRS or BRZ convertible at the Tokyo Motor Show as well. So, I mean, this car is basically production ready. There's no reason for them to not make it. And talking about concept cars and things like that, The 2015 Ford Mustang was caught with its face totally uncamouflaged, and it looks really cool. They were doing some hot weather testing apparently, and they needed to remove the front camo to allow for proper cooling and everything for high performance driving, and this looks pretty interesting. I'm still kind of meh about how it looks. It looks like they have a 2004 Mustang with a 2013 grille. It's basically how it looks to me. I mean, it's going to be an amazing performing car. Still not crazy about the looks though. As you guys know, I'm into retro vintage stuff. I love the 2014 and 2013 Mustangs, but going with modern styling for this car, I just hope it doesn't look like a Fusion coupe. And I don't know, this doesn't really look too promising to me. I mean, it's going to be cool, but wasn't as impressed with this leak as I thought I was going to be. Another little bit of disappointing news is the BMW M4 is going to be officially debuted in Detroit, the production version, which is good, but they confirmed that it's not going to have a manual transmission option, which, I mean, I guess we should expect at this point. Everyone's phasing manual transmissions out. BMW M cars have become larger and more comfortable anyway over the years. They're not the lightweight, simple cars they used to be. So for this to lose a manual, I'm not surprised at all, but I am disappointed. I think, you know, the dual clutches are amazing. They're a lot of fun. But still, just give people the option of a manual. I mean, honestly, at this point, I would just give us the old M3 transmission, the manual that you had in that. Just throw that in here, mate it up to the new engine, and call it a day. If you don't want to work on a new manual transmission and spend R&D money on that, fine. But just at least give us the option still. But apparently that's not the case. So, yeah, the manual continues its downhill slide. And another luxury car news, the 2015 Audi A8 was released, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's basically the same car as the most recent one, but they just kind of updated it with these really cool matrix LED headlights, and it has, you know, a few new tech goodies on the inside. Basically the same car, though the A8L is now longer as well, but aside from that, it's the same car, and to me, it just looks boring. I mean, it does, I don't know. Even with the sweet headlights, it still just doesn't do anything for me, sadly. I mean, on the other hand, though, speaking of luxury car, you know, news, Jaguar rolled out its 2014 XJ updates because, you know, everyone's trying to compete with the brand new Mercedes S-Class that just came out that is stunning. And so Jaguar rolled out its 2014 XJ, and it looks spectacular. I mean, it looks basically the same as before, which was spectacular before, but now the interior is just mind-blowing. It has these, like, kind of airplane-inspired seats that are just, they call you in comfort. They have the massaging, the cooling. I mean, it's just totally decked out. The back seat of this car is one place I want to spend some time at some point in my life, because that looks like a really comfortable place to be. But Jaguar's going to have to hopefully do some PR work, because a celebrity here in America, Dick Van Dyke, he's an old comedian, he has an XJ, and it burned to the ground this week, and he was luckily rescued and everything was fine. He laughed it off and actually just got another XJ. But this on top of the F-Type that caught fire in Europe, I think, isn't really a huge asset to Jaguar's reputation. So hopefully the fires and the Jaguars stop, because they're great cars, and I don't want to see their reputation go downhill because of a few bad apples. Another piece of news is Bugatti said there's not going to be any higher Veyron above the Super Sports and the Vitesse, but that they're going to have a replacement. They don't want to call it a successor, because they said that would mean the Veyron is inferior in some way, and it's not, apparently. So they're saying this replacement is planned. It's probably going to be many, many years off. The Veyron is still the benchmark. I mean, everyone says, well, is it as fast as a Veyron? And the Veyron's many, many years old now. So the Veyron's still amazing, so I wouldn't expect it to go anywhere anytime soon. And speaking of lovely cars, the Cadillac El Mirage apparently has production potential. Some of the GM executives have said that it's pretty close to being production ready if they wanted to put it into production. It would be based on the same platform as their new flagship sedan that they're planning on making. And aside from the, you know, outlandish interior and the few concept car, you know, styling cues on the outside, for the most part, that car is ready to go. And I say go for it. I mean, they said it would be like, apparently Mercedes is going to be doing an S-Class coupe, and so they're saying this could be a fighter for that. And I don't care what they want to compete against, just make that car, because it's beautiful, and I would love to see some of those rolling around on the streets. Speaking of other really awesome looking cars, Lexus teased some car that they're going to be showing at the Frankfurt Motor Show. It's most likely the RC Coupe that we saw the spy shots of that look crazy and stuff. This just, I don't know, it looks amazing. I mean, it kind of has the IS, you know, front headlights a little bit, except they just took it to the next level. And that looks very, very intimidating. I really hope to see more of that soon. That's going to be sweet. And I hope that's not just a concept car and that actually makes it to production, because that would be sweet to see coming down the road. Other small little news is that Volkswagen revealed a new Golf R, and it's 296 horsepower, and I just am terrified to even look at what this price tag is going to be for this car, because Golf Rs are already a little on the expensive side in my opinion, and I'm sure this one's just going to get a price increase like they normally do. So you're probably looking at a $40,000 Golf here or something like that. Just a little too rich for my blood, but it should be a good performer, I'm sure. Another car that was debuted this past week was the Ferrari 458 Speciale, I think is how you pronounce it. Anyway, it's the new Scuderia version of the 458 apparently, and I'm not sure how it looks. It kind of has a 360 Challenge inspired front end to me, but I'm not a big fan of how it looks. It's going to be faster, and this is apparently the most maxed out V8 that anyone's ever made. It's, you know, for how small the size, I think it's putting out 133 horsepower per liter or something, which is seriously insane. That's a ton of power. So I mean, this thing's going to be a screamer. It's going to be an amazing car, I'm sure. Just not crazy about the looks of it. And speaking of insane cars, though, Lamborghini confirmed they're going to be doing a Veneno Roadster, and they're going to maybe make like 8 of them instead of only 3 of the normal Venenos. But, I mean, it's going to be easy to do. I mean, obviously, that's just based on an Aventador. So just take an Aventador Roadster and put a Veneno body on it, you're good to go. So, I mean, they should churn out as many of those as people are willing to buy, honestly. I think they're charging something like $4.4 million for this car whenever it comes out. So, hey, I'd build as many of them as you can. That's going to be sweet. The more Venenos out there, the better. So, and then the last piece of news for this week, there's been tons, I know. Mazda is developing a new rotary engine. It's called the 16X, and it's going to be coming out in about 2 years in an all-new model. So this has got all the Mazda guys really excited because, I mean, they're saying this new rotary engine is going to be more fuel efficient. It's not going to have all the, you know, problems with burning oil. It's going to have a big torque upgrade apparently. And I'm just really excited to see that they're even investing in rotary engines still, considering, you know, they have such successful lines with the Mazda 3, Mazda 6, and the RX-8, you know, they just continued. So I'm glad to see that they're going to be doing a new rotary sports car probably, and that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And yeah, so that's definitely exciting news. But yeah, so that's it for all the news this week, guys. So I'll send it back to me in the car. Alright, so I'll leave you guys with a nice little acceleration here like I always do. So much fun. Oh man, 200 horsepower has never been so much fun before. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the weekly update, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Take care.